minute. It's been like a month, I think, since I've dropped the Saturday school. Because, okay, so, hold on. Okay, so it's been about a month since I dropped the Saturday school because I've been working on a particular subject for about a month, okay? And it's not that it took me that long to put all the information together. I had all of the shit together a while ago. It was just, for some reason, it didn't feel like it was the right time to drop it, okay? So I just kind of waited and added a little bit more stuff here and there, waited to see if I was going to get more downloads before I decided to go ahead and do it. So I felt Spirit move through me and told me that today is the day. So here we are. This Saturday school is going to be about the Ark of the Covenant and the two witnesses in the book of Revelation, okay? Now, when this download came to me about the Ark of the Covenant, I don't even really consider it a download. This was more of a channeled answer kind of thing. I was scrolling on Twitter, and this was the day that they announced that the CIA or somebody was, the government, basically the government, announced that they had found the Ark of the Covenant, right? And I remember when I read that post, instantly I heard it just came to me, and I just replied to it, and I was like, nah, that's not the Ark of the Covenant, okay? Basically, the channel message I got was that's not the Ark of the Covenant. That is a decoy. Okay, so I don't know if it's the government's decoy, because they know what the Ark of the Covenant really is. So, okay, so I'm feeling like it's the government's decoy. Okay, it's part of the smoke and mirrors. Tell the people we found the Ark of the Covenant, make it look like a physical thing where there's actual like tablets inside this golden box, okay? That's not the real Ark of the Covenant. So this is what Spirit gave to me in that moment and told me what the Ark of the Covenant was. This is what I tweeted on Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, I did tweet this because I remember screen grabbing it and printing it out. This is what I ended up saying later on, but this was the download that I got about the actual Ark of the Covenant, okay? Confirmation burp, let's go. Okay. I was very hesitant about this lesson. I really was. I can't lie. Because I know a lot of people don't like to hear different perspectives or different interpretations or different things. They're just very black and white. Well, this is what it is because this is what the book says it is. Okay, well, that's good. But I'm telling you what God told me it is, okay? If you don't want to at least hear me out, that's fine. But I'm just telling you this is what was given to me. Okay, so the Ark of the Covenant is not an actual golden adorned box with two tablets inside, okay? The Ark of the Covenant is inside of a $1 billion safe with moving parts. Okay, let me explain that. That is another download, I guess I would say. It wasn't really a download. Okay, I had a Ghost Vox box on my phone. And this particular day, I downloaded it because I wanted to see what messages would come through. Because I've been trying all different types of ways of talking to Spirit and other beings and shit, okay? So I wanted to see if I could get any messages from this Ghost Vox, right? So I turned it on. And this is everything that I got from it that day that I wrote down. And it does make a lot of fucking sense. I'm not going to read the first page because I'd have to get into a whole nother lesson on that from what I got. But when it got to this part, this was the part that I found very interesting, because this came to me a month or two before the whole discovery of the Ark of the Covenant. Okay, so this came to me first. In fact, this came to me in December. It was around Christmas time. I remember now. It came to me in December 2024, around Christmas. Okay, so this particular part of the message from the ghost box said this. It said $1 billion safe moving parts. And in that moment, that's when I got the Ark of the Covenant. I wrote it right there. I was told that that is the Ark of the Covenant. And I'm like, okay, $1 billion safe with moving parts. Instantly, I realized that's a person. Each person is worth a lot of money. The government, the system gets a lot of money off of us, okay? And our mind, our brain is like a safe. It is where you can keep knowledge and information and nobody can really get into it. You see what I'm saying? And we have moving parts, don't we? Okay. $1 billion safe with moving parts is a person. The Ark of the Covenant is people, a person, a mind, the brain, okay? So the next part of the ghost box said, the good thing about someone, you're the best, this person. $1 billion safe with moving parts. This person. So the best way to lock away or hide information would be in someone's mind, in someone's brain, right? You never find what you're looking for. If you're looking for a gold box with 2 tablets in it, you're not going to find that. You're never going to think it's a person's mind, their brain, a person, okay? So listen. So this is what else I got from Spirit. This was the download, the channel message I got from Spirit about the Ark of the Covenant, okay? So, the Ark of the Covenant, I'm telling you, it's a mind, it's a brain, it's a person, okay? The divide between the left and the right hemispheres of the brain are called the Ark of the Covenant. Scientifically, those 2 hemispheres are called cerebrum, which the Bible refers to as cherubim, because the hemispheres protect what is holy. What is holy is your consciousness. Your consciousness is in your brain, in your Ark of the Covenant, okay? The top of the brain is the mercy seat of God. The top of the head is also the crown chakra, which connects you to source, God, spirit, divine, universe. The mercy seat of God. And the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. They say that's where your soul resides, in your pineal gland, okay? In the Ark of the Covenant is Moses' staff, which is represented by your spine, okay? This is also known as Lucifer's tomb. A corrupted mind would be Lucifer's tomb. So a corrupted mind, a corrupted Ark of the Covenant is called Lucifer's tomb. Do you see, do you understand so far? And a corrupted mind is a mind not of God. Therefore, there is no Ark of the Covenant in that mind. It is Lucifer's tomb. Okay? Now, Ark means branch, covenant. Okay? So, the Ark of the Covenant, Ark is branch. Covenant is like a binding agreement. So, the Ark of the Covenant means a binding agreement, which would be something between you and God, in your mind, your soul, your heart, your soul, okay? So, if Moses parted the Red Sea, metaphorically speaking, that's the divide in our hemispheres of the brain. The Red Sea is the brain. The parting the Red Sea is the separation between the hemisphere, the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. That's speaking to the fact that Moses opened up the children of Israel's spiritual consciousness, parted the Red Sea, opened up their third eye, their spiritual consciousness, which can also be represented by the 2 stone tablets that Moses read the Ten Commandments from. Okay? So in the Ark of the Covenant, they tell you, the physical Ark of the Covenant, that there's 2 stone tablets that Moses read the Ten Commandments off of. Well, in the actual Ark of the Covenant, the left and right hemisphere represent the 2 stone tablets that the commandments were given to Moses to read from. When God is in you, you don't need the tablets, the book, to tell you. The tablets are in there. They're already in you. They're already part of you. Okay. Because now let me go back. Which also can be represented by the 2 stone tablets that Moses read the 10 Commandments from, because God gave those commandments to Moses in a mental download, a channeled message, like I do. The same way I get songs and words and visions and shit like that from God. Same thing Moses did when he got the 10 Commandments. It was downloaded to him to write down on the tablets because of his connection to God, because of his connection to God, his crown, his mercy seat. Okay? Now, the commandments were given as keys to help free God's children from bondage after they were lost, which basically was blinded to the way of God. They could not see the way of God. They had no connection to God themselves. Their mercy seat was not open. Their crown chakra was not open to God. Okay, so they could not get these messages. But Moses could, because he was connected. His crown chakra was open. Okay, so Moses was given the keys for the children of Israel to get them out of bondage after they were lost for 40 years in the wilderness. We are also like the children of Israel in bondage, lost in the wilderness for 40 years. Okay, now excuse me. I'll wait and say that. So, the Bible is metaphorical. A lot of people tend to take some of the things in the Bible as literal. It's metaphorical. So, 40 years wandering in the wilderness for the children of Israel before someone was able to come along and talk to God and tell them and see how to get them out. Basically, a prophet. Okay, Moses was a prophet. So, metaphorically speaking, in the Bible, one day is 1,000 years to God, right? So, if you take one day, which is 1,000 years to God, which is 365 days times 40 years, that equals 14,600 days that they wandered in the woods, okay? But 14,600 days divided by 1,000 years equals 14.6 years. So they really wandered for 14.6 years, okay? But pause. If you take this year, 2025, and subtract 14.6 years, it equals 2010, the year 2010. This generation of the children of Israel, us, we've been wandering in the woods lost without God since 2010. Okay? Because there has been no one with the Ark of the Covenant to tell us where to go and how to get out of it. Okay? Now, Moses was a prophet of God, sent to help the children of Israel be free. Okay? So, he led them in spiritual battle, spiritual warfare, and gave them wise counsel, which came from God. Moses spoke face to face with God and received instructions for the children on how to get out of bondage. Okay? A prophet. Moses was a prophet of God. Now listen, there's a prophet living now in this time, 2025, now, who was sent by God to part the Red Sea, our brain, our consciousness, and lead the children of God out of captivity, out of the matrix. Okay? This prophet's job is to wake up the masses, spiritual consciousness, teach the children how to fight spiritual warfare, teach them what it looks like, how to fight it, okay? Teach them how to talk and to hear God for themselves, just like Moses, just like this prophet, okay? And how to seek God for wise counsel themselves, not to lean on someone in a pulpit, not to fucking depend on a book, for yourself, in your own heart, in your own Ark of the Covenant, okay? This prophet is here now to bring the world out of the woods, the matrix, and into spiritual enlightenment, awakening. Now, hear me out. Also, when I was listening to the voice box that night, I got a second message, and this message came through with a demonic voice, and then it went to a normal voice, and I'm going to tell you what that message said. Okay, so we know that Moses helped the children of Israel get out of the woods and out of bondage after 40 years, right? Now, I told you, we've been wondering, if you do the math on that, like I did the math on it, we've been wandering in the wilderness ourselves, lost since 2010 without God, okay? Now, which way do I go now, Spirit? Let me go this way real quick. So, really quickly, I want to touch on... Oh, wait, hold on. I'll go here. Excuse me. So, the voice box. The second message I heard from the voice box, it was a demonic voice that came through. And the demonic voice asked a question. It said, "You want drama?" And then the next voice that came out of the box was a normal man's voice, and it said, "I'll resurrect Israel." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, so hear me out. The fall of Jerusalem. Now, there was a fall of Jerusalem that happened around 975 to 586 BC, okay? This was, I believe, right after, I want to say it was right after David's reign, around the time of Solomon, if I'm not mistaken, okay? So, between 975 and 586 BC, there was a temple built on Mount Moriah and all this other stuff. But in that time frame, the fall of Samaria put an end to the kingdom of Israel and closed the period of the double kingdom. Okay? So around that time frame, that's when the kingdom of Israel fell and collapsed. Okay? So remember that. 975. Okay? Now, back to the voice box. It said, you want drama? I'll resurrect Israel. Well, how can you resurrect Israel if it's existable? Because it fell in 1975 BC. Now, on to the two witnesses, because it ties in together. Now, remember how I said this prophet that's here now is here to wake up the children and pull them out of the wilderness, which is the matrix, the system. Okay? Now listen, the two witnesses in the book of Revelation, I believe it's Revelation chapter 11, verses 1 through 14, it talks about the two witnesses. The two witnesses, it says in the Bible, are two men that are coming like to give their witness, to bear witness to what they seen or something like that, and the people don't want to hear them or some shit, so they kill them and leave them in the street dead for 3 years, or 3 days, 3 days, as an example or something like that. Okay, so the two witnesses, I'm going to break down exactly who the two witnesses are, because it's not two men like it says in the Bible, and it's not what you think. Okay, so the fall of Israel, 975. Now, the two witnesses, I just told you, they get killed in the book of Revelation. They get killed and they are laid in the street for 3 days. Their dead bodies are in the street for 3 days, right? Now, let's go back really quick. I hope you can follow along with me. Remember when I told you 1 day equals 1,000 years to God? Okay, so if 1 day is 1,000 years to God, the witnesses were in the street dead for 3,000 years. Okay? Now, if you take 3,000 years and subtract that from this year, 2025, do you know what you get? Remember I told you to remember 975 BC? Yep. If you take 3,000 years, which is the 3 days that the witnesses lay in the street, 3,000 years, and you subtract 3,000 from the year 2025, this year, you get 975, which was the fall of Israel. And what I tell you the voice box said to me, the ghost box said, in the demonic voice, you want drama? I'll resurrect Israel this year, 2025. Okay? 975 is when it fell. Do you see what I'm getting at? Okay. I'm glad you're following along. Now, also, in this year or around this year of 975 BC, there was also when David commanded his son Solomon to build a new temple on Mount Moriah. Now, listen, this temple took 7 years, followed by 13 years of building. So it took 7 years to plan out the architecture for the temple, right? But it took 13 years of building this royal complex, okay? 13 in the tarot deck is the death card. The death card in tarot is about change, things falling apart so they can be built back up, things being destroyed, death literally also, okay? So, again, it all is tying together because in 975 BC, that's when Israel fell, around when this temple was being made, okay? 13 years. Now, when I said to you, the two witnesses are not two men like it says in the Bible. Now, remember over here when I told you that the prophet is here now to bring the children out of captivity, to bring them out of the matrix, okay? The two witnesses are a twin flame couple, a divine counterpart couple, a destined and ordained anointed couple. Together, they have the Ark of the Covenant. They are each tablet. One person is one tablet, the other person is the other tablet. Together, they are the Ark of the Covenant, and they are the prophet that is going to bring the children out of the wilderness, okay, out of the matrix, okay? Now, them being killed and laid in the street for three days is spiritual warfare, okay? The spiritual warfare lasted 3,000 years. From the time that Israel fell was the time that the spiritual warfare began in 975 BC. That's why if you take 3,000 years from 2025, which is this year, it's 975. That's why the voice box asked, do you want drama? I'll resurrect Israel. It's a threat to whoever the prophets are. To whoever this twin flame couple is, that was a threat. Basically telling them, if you come together, you want drama, we'll resurrect Israel. Okay? So listen, the two witnesses are a twin flame couple. Now, think of the movie plot for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They were husband and wife that didn't know that they were each spies. But they were spies for the opposing agency. But they were hired, I believe, by the same person to take each other out. Okay? So, twin flames are also yin and yang, light and dark. So one of these twins, one of these people in this couple is like darkness, okay? More on the low vibrational side of things, okay? But still a righteous soul. And the other twin is the yin, the yin and yang, the light, And that twin, that person in this couple, is the one more tapped into spirit, the one more on the high vibrational side, okay? Together, they bring balance. Together, they are the two witnesses. What they are witnessing to is going to be telling everyone how they escaped the spiritual warfare, how they got out of the matrix, okay? Now listen, the matrix is what? We know the movie. The matrix is basically how the world is trapped in an AI simulation, okay, and they don't know it. Yeah, that's exactly what life is, okay? So the matrix is an AI simulation. Why are they pushing AI onto us now? We're in the fucking matrix. They want us to get deeper into it so that we never awaken. If these two witnesses come together, they've been trying to stop these two witnesses from coming together for 3,000 years, basically, okay? If these two witnesses come together, this couple, this twin flame couple, this divine counterpart couple come together, they are going to break the simulation. They're going to teach people how to come out of the matrix, how to come out of the simulation. They don't want that, of course, naturally. So again, the matrix is an AI simulation, okay? Neo in the movie is one of the twins, okay? Trinity is his twin flame. They are each other's twin flame. They are the yin and the yang. They are the light and the dark, okay? Now, Neo, N-E-O, his name, that word means new or revived form of, okay? And Trinity's name is Trinity, three, or a divinity of three. So together, Neo and Trinity are the new Trinity. So the world has been under captivity for all these years, since 2010, because, okay, I'll say it, because religion has been pushed heavily in the last, 15 years? The new Trinity, these two twins, this divine counterpart couple coming together is going to be the new Trinity. There is the Father, which is God. There is the Son, which is Neo, and then there is the Spirit, which is Trinity. So these two twin flames coming together are going to teach people how to come out of the spiritual warfare. They're going to teach people how to talk to and get in touch with and listen to God within, the real God, okay? The new Trinity. Whoever this person, the male in the situation, Neo, and whoever the feminine, divine feminine and divine masculine are in the situation, Neo and Trinity and God, the new Trinity, okay? I think, was there anything else? Let me make sure I don't have any more notes. Yeah, no, I don't have any more notes. So yeah, so the two witnesses, it's a twin flame couple. And when this man and this woman, this divine feminine and this divine masculine, come together, and it doesn't have to be one couple. It could be all the twin flame couples that are to come together in this lifetime, okay? As each one comes together, it's the two witnesses coming together, and they witness to the world. They teach the world how to come out of spiritual warfare, how to come out of the matrix, okay? They teach the world about the new Trinity. And that's why this voice threatened, do you want drama? I'll resurrect Israel. Because the last time this happened, Israel fell in 975 BC. And this, these two witnesses, these twin flame couples, or this twin flame couple, I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's more than one. I don't know if it's one. But when this couple comes together, like I said, they're going to be able to teach the world how to come out of the wilderness. It's going to change everything. New Trinity, the new Trinity is going to change everything, how everything operates. And that's a problem for whoever this demon was that was talking to me through the voice box. Because apparently they don't want that to happen. Because when the world wakes up, who loses control of the people in who loses control? Period. The people that are in control of the system, the demonic people, the reptilians, the dark agenda, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the church will lose control of the system. But that is all I have for this lesson. I really, really hope that made sense. Because like I said, I've been holding on to this for a good month because I was honestly a little nervous about how to say it, how to deliver it. And I was told to just hold on to it for a minute. But this was the download. This was what I got about what the Ark of the Covenant actually is, and about the two witnesses and how this is connected. Because like I said, the two witnesses, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and that this couple is going to consist of, are the two tablets. The Ark of the Covenant is in their mind. They're directly connected to God, and they're going to be able to teach the world how to come out of the system, out of the wilderness. Okay? But that is all I have. I pray and I declare and decree that hit who it was supposed to hit and got to who it was supposed to get to, and that I made sense. But yeah, I'll see you next Saturday with another Saturday school lesson, okay? I think next week we're going to do ascension, what it is and how to ascend, and ascension sickness, what that is, the symptoms. And then we might also touch on, let me see. We might also touch on, give me a second, destiny swapping, what that is in detail. Okay, so I'll see you next Saturday. Oh yeah, and I might do some pop quizzes in between, like a pop quiz on like Tuesday about the Saturday school lesson. Okay, but yeah, don't miss next Saturday school.